Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques. I have Philip and David and Ronnie sitting across from me here, and we're ready to talk about old stuff, or collectible stuff, or old collectible stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe.
vintage and antique.
If we stay on track.
That's the big issue.
I don't think that's going to happen.
We're always on track. It just might be a sidetrack.
Hey, so you know Dr. Elizabeth Taylor, the one that wrote the books on Camp Forest?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think y'all did a story on it. So she called me the other day. She's coming back to my house Friday, and she's going to scan a bunch. I got a bunch of Camp Forest letters, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So she's writing a third book.
Wow, okay. People, the more she writes, the more people go, hey, I've got more information about it kind of thing.
Probably.
Probably so. Cool.
Probably touching on different subjects in each book.
Yeah. I've got the first two books, so I'll end up with a collection.
We ran the first, when Tom Corrington of Grassroots retired, we dug back to some of the first episodes, and one of the first episodes was Bob Couch on, and he had the flag that was flown the entire time. It was Camp Forest.
Wow.
Did it say Camp Forest on it?
It did not.
Oh.
But they were like, he went there when they were like tearing the base down kind of thing.
And got it.
And got it out of a garbage can. And he said that he put it up in couches, and when veterans from World War II who stayed out there would come by, he would cut off like a little 1 inch by 1 inch square and give it to them kind of thing for a memorial thing.
Now, was this a U.S. flag?
Yes.
And he got it out of
the
the trash can?
Yeah, I know it's not supposed to. I know it's not supposed to be there, but that's.
And that was the military
Maybe that's
closing
why-
a base.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's why he got it.
But they hired people.
It could have been civilian
laymen
contractors.
Yeah. You know, for a lot,
that don't.
you know, a lot of new people have moved into the area. They might not know what was Camp Forest.
How
You know.
about Camp P?
Who? I don't know about that one.
Well, it was a training center out where the base is now.
Yeah, we're
Originally, though, it was Camp P, and it was cavalry.
Oh.
Really?
That
I
goes
didn't,
back
I didn't
there.
realize what they did out
Well,
there.
during World War I, you know, they still used horses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. So then it became Camp Forest, and it was a training camp. And then it also ended up being a holding place for
Well, they had-
World War II
they had prisoners.
German prisoners.
Yeah.
Were held
Which,
there.
according, if you read her book and stuff, a lot of them moved back here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But, you know, it's an
Well-
interesting piece of history that a lot of people might not know that are new to the area, and there has been a large influx of people into this area.
okay, so you can get her books over at Tullahoma. What is the bookstore in the mall, the one that's like the nonprofit? You did a story on it before.
Yeah, I can't think of the name.
Well, you
of it.
better
I'm
be
s-
thinking
yeah.
of it. 'Cause we need, if you want one of those books, and are they still located at Northgate Mall, the bookstore?
Yes,
Okay.
they move around occasionally.
Yeah,
but they're
that
inside.
that is if you want to know some local history, she's wrote 2 books, and that'd be the place to go.
The bookshelf is the
The
name of it.
bookshelf.
Bookshelf.
That's
Okay,
it.
that's
It's a
interesting.
nonprofit.
Okay.
It's
If you ever want to
they
donate
raise-
used books, Howard, good
Oh,
place.
okay, cool.
They do a lot of good work.
Yeah, say they raise money for charities and stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's good. That's an interesting nuance. See, I was not aware of that either. So I've learned a lot today.
Yeah, here we are off subject.
Yeah. And you know, he hasn't
You're the
even
one that started it, didn't you?
and that guy sitting next to you hasn't even told anybody about where they can hear us or
Yeah.
find us or watch us and all that good stuff.
Can you do that?
Well, if you don't know what you're doing right now, you're
I
listening to
don't.
WMSR. if it's 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Other than that, you can catch us replay the television version of it on Charter Channel 193, LightTube Channel 6, or anytime on YouTube and Facebook.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Why is Channel 6 not on Channel 6?
Charter.
Yeah, tell them why.
Okay, so about 4 years ago, Charter, in their infinite wisdom, on a Labor Day weekend, I think, moved us
Yeah.
from Channel 6 to Channel 193. Didn't let us know whatsoever.
Well, shouldn't it?
And-
Should you change your name to Channel 193?
Well, the idea is that the name technically is P-Ed Productions, and the link,
Okay.
but the reasoning behind not changing it is that they could move us somewhere else too.
Well, you could change your name again.
We found out at that point that Yeah, so sorry, not to.
So it
I don't
wasn't
want a bad
in-
mouth
it-
charter here
it-
at this
it-
point.
yeah.
That turned to
Yeah, I
that.
remember when that happened. You used to
So
be on-
how many years? It was.
you were on
How
channel.
many years was you Channel 6?
Probably 16 or 16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know it was a
yeah.
long time. But I thought that was funny. Well,
Well, yeah.
but it wasn't
from an
funny for
outside
you.
perspective,
But
it's funny.
yeah.
Did it? I bet it caused a lot of inconvenience there for the
It did.
first
It,
month.
it took a long time for people to find us
They
again.
really should have
Yeah.
gave y'all some notice so you could have
So
advertised.
you could,
it.
yeah, so you
That's
could
what-
run ads.
When we called to complain about, they're like, "Oh, you've known for not months," and we're like, "No,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, well, sorry, somebody should have told you."
Well, we thought we sent you an email.
Yeah, exactly.
So right hand, left hand, right?
There you go.
I've been there, done that. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well, okay, so we're going to talk about Mr. Goodrich. You know,
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
mid '70s, that General Motors went together in all of their dealerships, not just,
not just Chevy, but
Yeah.
all the GM.
and they had, and that lasted to roughly what 2010. But it was a big promotion,
Well-
so if you wanted to work on your car, they had the parts and everything. But
Right.
the reason I want to talk about it is I collected Mr. Goodrich 6-foot full size guy holding signs, and one of them will say, "Mr. Goodrich for your service," and then one will say, "Mr. Goodrich for your
brakes, maybe.
brakes,"
Yeah.
"Mr. Goodrich for your tune-up." So I've got the brakes one,
Yeah.
and I got the one where he's here for your service.
Yeah, I saw the picture on Facebook of him. He's pretty cool.
He's cool as heck.
Yeah.
And so
Now that's metal and
Yes.
porcelain?
no, it's metal, not
Ju-
porcelain.
But it's painted.
Uh-huh.
It's a good looking sign.
yeah.
A nice looking sign.
And but the thing about it is, I don't think people realize if you collect gas memorabilia of any kind or dealership,
Yeah.
you got to have a Mr. Goodrich,
well, yeah.
Mr.
have somebody to
Goodrich,
fix your cars.
not Rich.
Did you get yours off eBay or did you buy
Yeah,
it
both
off
of
an
them.
individual?
Yeah, right there you're looking at.
Is
it.
that
I bought
both
both
of
of them.
Yeah.
Now, from
Mr. Goodrich works here. I got him, and then I got the other one. Ain't that the brake service one?
Brake service, yeah.
Yeah.
Brake
77,
special.
Find that tune-up one.
77 to 96, it was Goodrich, and in 96 they changed it to GM Goodrich Service
Well,
Plus.
it originally was Mr. Goodrich.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to GM Service Plus
Right.
in 96,
Yeah.
dropping the Mister.
But anybody that has a garage,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and you got dealer signs, and you got gas signs, and oil signs, and gas pumps, and cars, and you got to have a Mr. Goodrich, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
he was iconic.
Oh yeah, he was iconic. So you know a little history about him, don't you, Ron?
Well, you know, a lot of
Yeah, I got
guys,
a little bit here.
a lot of guys and gals that have a car, that they've fixed up, an antique, let's say, or they've restored it, and it's a Chevy or a Ford or whatever brand it is. They love to get signs from that particular make and have in their garage.
Oh, yeah.
Showing off their car.
I'll tell you what.
And I've seen several around here where you're driving down the road and you'll see somebody's 2-car garage sitting out behind the house, and it'll have a gas station sign or a Ford sign or a Chevy sign.
and
or
that's some
whatever.
expensive stuff now,
And
Howard.
it is. That's a real hot item for
Yes.
collecting. And of course, if you have one of the independents, of course that stuff's long gone.
Don't
It's
you
real-
have?
Got some, nothing fancy. But
What
we
about
got,
that one gentleman that had the American Motor sign, or what was it, sign that y'all looked at you was going to buy? Was it American Motor?
I don't remember now. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a gentleman. You mean the guy that lives out on Asbury Road? Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
a,
there was some kind of sign you was thinking about.
I know Rob was trying to get something from him, but I don't. It never. We've got a couple cardboard or paper ones, that were inside signs, but we don't have any of the great big signs outside. Well, it was kind of a tragedy what happened with the. There's more stuff available for like Studebaker than there was for AMC because of the way the sale was handled. If you understand, Chrysler, when they bought AMC, just junked everything.
Boy, wouldn't that have been a good time to get it all?
Well, but they went into scrap yards and they sold
they
it.
did?
Yeah, parts and everything.
Really?
But when Studebaker went out of business, they worked with their dealers and with their people and let them keep it. And so there's a lot more Studebaker stuff.
I've got
even
one.
NOS
I got a
stuff.
Studebaker service sign.
Yeah, even old NOS signs, parts and stuff like that are more readily available for Studebaker and Packard.
And Hudson.
Well, Hudson was AMC, and see
You see some Hudson stuff, though.
yeah, oh yeah. But anyway, if you can get one of those signs, they are really a collectible item.
How come they quit doing the Hudson then? If AMC, why'd they quit doing the Hudson? Wasn't it more like a little luxury car?
It
type?
was a little nicer car. Hudson, when they merged, the two body frames or styles were not compatible. Hudson had a much lower, sleeker design. They called it the step-down sign. That's why Hudson in the early 50s, tore up the stock track, the racetracks. You know, if you ever watched that Disney movie, Doc Hudson, well, the Hudson was a championship car, beat the socks off everybody on the
because of the handling.
Because of the handling, it was low and low center of gravity. It was a heavy car. Big old monstrous straight 8.
Straight 8.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
That had to be a long hood.
Oh yeah. So anyway, but the thing was, when they merged to cut cost, AMC leaders decided to take the Rambler body and modify the grill and the fenders a little bit and the paint to make, and they called it a Hudson. Well, it was just a glorified Rambler.
That happens with
And
several dealers.
That happened, and that's what happened with Packard and Studebaker. When Studebaker and Packard merged, the Studebaker Corporation didn't have the money to continue using the Packard body and all that, the cost.
Well, why did they buy them out? What did they buy them for then, Howard? Why?
I don't know.
Why would you buy?
To get rid of the competition.
I mean,
Not really. Studebaker and Packard were in two different. Packard was a luxury car.
Yeah.
And
But
see,
why wouldn't they have took advantage? You think that might have?
money? Money was tight, I guess.
Or
for
the
'em.
patents.
Patents.
They could have bought them just for the patents.
Engines.
Packard,
Yeah.
I think Packard had a much better automatic transmission than Studebaker did, and so they used it, I guess. There was different reasons, but I don't know.
So the term they use now is platforms, right?
Platforms, yeah.
Yeah. We're putting this body on this platform.
Platform, right.
So
And of course, so what ended up happening, both with Hudson and Packard for that matter, they ended up being glorified Studebaker or a glorified Rambler, and sales dropped significantly. So
Well, sure.
they did that for 2 or 3 years, and they said, well, we can't afford to make that.
So what was the Studebaker one? What body did they use to?
They used the Studebaker.
Which one?
The big one, the bigger, longer wheelbase frame, which was the President and the Commodore. Commodore, I think.
They
it was.
used those frames.
They used that
to put the Packard on.
And they put the Packard, and they changed the grill and the back fenders. They could make those, stamp those, and bolt them on, and it really didn't make a good looking car.
It did or didn't?
Did not.
What year was that? Do you know?
Well,
I'm gonna look up.
now AMC would have been like 55, 56, 57, maybe. It was maybe as late as Studebaker would have been.
Okay, Ronnie. You
Studebaker.
bookmark that. We're
I
gonna have
forget
to
when
take a break here in a minute.
I forget when Studebaker.
Well, take a year. Pick a year. I know you'll be close.
Oh boy, no. Studebaker, I guess.
Hey, you
I
know we're not
forget.
supposed to have dead air.
Yeah, I know. I just can't. My mind has gone blank.
So Studebaker would have been Studebaker Packard.
Studebaker Packard.
That's what I'm gonna put in here and see what happens.
That was the corporation after they merged. They used the two names. AMC came up with a whole new name.
Just to blaspheme everything, the only Studebaker I recognize when I see it is the Avante.
Avanti. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well Studebaker did that, and
Yeah.
and that car still pops up every once in a while. Somebody
Yeah.
trying to reproduce it again.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't know that. You can get one for $18,000 on eBay.
Yeah, they were
Okay,
pretty.
so they merged between 56. Let's see.
Matter of fact,
Packard Motor bought Studebaker in 54,
54.
and they formed Studebaker Packard
Yeah.
Corporation.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then of course
From-
Studebaker continued on for
Yeah.
12 until almost the 80s.
66.
But they go to 66. Okay, I couldn't remember when the last ones were done.
Well, from 54 to 58, the new Studebaker Packard company didn't make a profit.
No, they
4 years there, so
they
it's time
lost
to do
big
something.
time.
But when they merged, they come up with the Hawk series, didn't they?
Well, yeah. Well, they of course Studebaker had been producing the what they call it. They didn't call it the Hawk. Silver.
Was it a lowboy or?
Yeah, it was a real low, sleek-looking car. And then they rearranged the hood and they put a fancy grill on the front and tail fins, and it became the Golden Hawk and the Silver Hawk. And
Yeah,
then they
it was-
made a
Yeah.
Packard Hawk, which was kind of ugly because of
It
the
didn't
way
look-
because of the way they made the grill. But
So I'm gonna Google that.
So
Hey,
anyway-
you know what? We gotta take a break.
yeah, it's time for a break here. I caught me offhand. I could have brought my Studebaker Packard book over. But yeah, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break here on Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques, and David's looked up several things here on.
Yeah, that Packard Hawk. You're exactly right, Howard.
It was okay,
It
but,
don't. No,
but it,
it don't get it.
yeah.
They used.
And that's strange because the designer that Studebaker used was that Raymond Lowry, and he was really one of the better car designers back in the day.
Well,
And
it looks
so-
like what they did, Howard.
And that was all
They used the Studebaker, the Hawk part in the back,
in the back.
and then when they come to the front end,
They put I think that was fiberglass, if I'm not
Is that
wrong.
what it was?
I think
Yeah,
it might
they
have
were.
been.
They were.
And yeah, because it was cheaper. See,
Well,
if you have a metal, you got to have a big stamping machine, and that costs thousands of dollars. And they just were strapped for cash.
Yeah, that Avani was a fiberglass bodied.
Yeah, no, the Avani was.
Yes.
I think it was the first fiberglass production car in the United
58
States.
Packard Hawk.
Yeah, the 50.
It says, "You won't believe these are collectible."
Oh,
cars."
they're hot items now.
Well, how rare could that be, Howard?
Because they didn't make many of them. They probably only made a couple thousand of the Packards, and a lot of those got
Well-
run over or destroyed, or
They could have done what you said though with the fiberglass. That really cut. I bet you they used the Studebaker from the windshield back and then just
Yeah.
put the front ends on.
front end, right?
Just did front end work.
Probably the front fenders.
I bet you the Hawk fender. You think that's a Hawk fender?
I bet you that was because they
They just changed the hood.
they
and-
tried to do everything. See, I hate to say, but on the cheap, because they just didn't have the money, and they were having a tough time. Of course, then they had.
Here's a Hawk, too.
Oh yeah.
See those?
Yeah, they're.
That's
they're,
what they did. They just the front end is awful looking.
It's not the best.
No,
That Hawk Coupe's a good looking
it's
car.
not. Yeah, the Golden
The
Hawk and
Golden
the Silver
Hawk-
Hawk both were
Silver
good.
Hawk, yeah. And the Golden Hawk was just an upgraded. Interior and everything was just a big step up.
You talking about
Yeah.
fast? But now, who favorite? What is yours? The Avanti? Did you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Avante was a neat car.
Yeah,
I actually drove one of those. I think I told you that once before.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you drove it because you was in service.
I was in
You're
service.
all,
the commander.
I was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
artillery,
yeah.
so my battery commander took it on a training exercise, and then when we got ready to come home, he was told that he had to ride with the unit. He wasn't allowed to drive his personal car home.
Yeah.
And he came to me and said, would I drive his car home? And it was an Avante with a supercharger, V8 supercharger. Wow.
Yeah,
Did
wow.
you make it there in record time?
We did pretty good, and I didn't get caught. That was what was good.
I don't know. Did y'all read in the news yesterday where there was two Corvette General Motors people? You know, at the Corvette factory. They the Kentucky State Trooper got them for drag racing.
Oh no.
They had two of those 2020 cars. Well, there was three, but only two of them were actually.
Dragon.
Yeah. I don't know if they were really drag racing like they got one. They over 100 miles an hour, and it was in a 45-mile-an-hour. Love Lane was the name of the road. So they took those Corvettes out on a regular road and mashed the
got
pedal
carried
down.
away.
Yeah.
That's the problem, you know. I wonder about all these cars today that have big high horsepower. You're tempted to tromp it, and you could get in trouble.
Well, you know, my wife is a very smart lady. She looked at me the other day and said, "Why do you need 500, 600, 800 horsepower cars?" And I said, "You know what, Nancy? You're exactly right. What can you do with them?"
Yeah, get a ticket. That's what you can.
Yeah, drag race.
Yeah, but if they catch you drag racing now,
Oh boy.
Oh, they'll
you
tear
better
you
sell
up.
the farm.
Yeah.
Used to, they'd smack you on the hand when
It's
we was
dangerous
kids.
now.
Remember,
with all
they
the
did.
Yeah.
traffic.
They say these new electric cars are going to even be faster.
They're way
Oh,
Oh,
man.
faster.
a lot
Yeah.
faster.
Oh, yeah.
However, did you hear about what was it out in California where the policeman was in the Tesla and he was chasing somebody's battery ran out?
Hey, they actually
They
got
away.
They got people that drives around that's got generators that charges them up if they get caught out on the road.
Now, that's going to save a lot on the environment and the generator.
No, yeah, that's not
fuel powered
That's not
generator.
the efficient way to go. Yeah.
Well, you got to charge them some way to get them off the road unless you take a wrecker or
Sure.
something.
Well, you just pull them for a little while, and they'll use the regenerator braking and charge back up the
Oh, they
battery,
will?
and then take off. Yeah.
That could have been a case of the officer not charging his battery properly.
Probably
too.
so, because
Ah,
I mean,
yes.
a Tesla's got
They'll go a long way if
250
they got a good
miles.
charge.
Well, you
miles of
might have been,
range.
might have been out on patrol all day
Yes.
long, and,
Well, he
and
should have
right,
stopped
right here at the end
charging
of the
his
shift, here comes this guy speeding, so I take
He's-
after him. And
He should have, you'd have to, at that point, you're going to have to stop and get gas, and at which point you're going to lose him anyway, too.
Charge it while you're eating.
but I thought that was funny.
The new Roadster that's supposed to come out here is 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds.
Yeah.
And that is just, I can't figure out how the computer can keep the
Well,
wheels on the road at that fast.
The driver's going to have problems at that speed, I'm afraid.
It's all computer controlled. You're fine.
No,
You're
no,
just
no,
a
no.
passenger.
It'll
Yeah.
drive itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I went to eBay, and there is no Studebaker Packard Hawks on there.
Oh, really?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Ronnie,
Hey,
did you have anything about Mr. Goodrich?
yes, I've got plenty.
Well, now
Plenty.
this is actually the guy that I've got, the metal stand. This is the guy they use
Yeah.
to make the metal stand from.
You're trying to get us back on subject?
His name was Paul Napier, and he died in 2015.
The model?
Pardon me?
The model guy?
No, the guy that
who
was
modeled
Mr.
for it?
Goodrich.
Yeah, the guy who modeled for it.
He was actually an actor.
Oh.
He was a member of the Screen Actors Guild.
But did they make the sign from him?
Yeah, he was in 400 commercials.
But
and
when he passed
television
away, he
shows.
had hair.
Well, he had a little hair. See,
Yeah.
he was 84 years
He
old.
has
David.
no hair in the middle
He
on
was,
my
he
sign.
was 46 when he started
46.
doing Mr. Goodrich.
I'll be done.
Yeah. And
So how long did he do it? Did he do it till they quit the Mr.
well,
Goodrich?
well, till 96 when they
Okay. So,
when they dropped the Mister from it.
Okay.
You know, and everybody spoofed him. Remember, everybody, if you picked up, they call you Mr. Goodrich.
Yeah.
Or Jay Leno done one called the evil twin, Mr. Bad Ranch. Mr. Bad Twin. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
I kind of do. Yeah.
Jay, leave it to Jay Leno about the cars.
Well, I'm on it now, so I bought. You can see there, Philip, that I bought
Yeah.
a couple of signs. I paid what? I paid $600 for one. $600 for one, plus shipping, so it ended up being about $650. And that one at $675, I made him a $500 offer, and that was free shipping.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
So,
better.
but
But
it cost me $215 each just to make the stand for it.
oh,
Really?
Yeah, they come with a stand originally.
I was gonna say, it
Of course,
didn't come with a
everybody, I
stand?
guess when they quit using them, they took them off and just stuck them on the wall.
right, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they're cool as heck.
You didn't just stick it on the wall?
No, I made stands for them like they're supposed to.
Okay.
You know now,
Mine greets you when you walk in the door.
Oh, okay.
in 2003, Stephen Colbert played Mr. Goodrich.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they finally phased him out in like 2010.
Okay.
So he played it for 7 years?
Evidently.
Huh.
Off and on, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was a smart move by General Motors, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
400 commercials.
400. People
In
felt,
30
you know,
years.
they.
Well-
Well, I remember, you know, here in town, David Go Chevrolet,
Uh-huh.
a nice family, nice gentleman. I bought a Corvette down there, and there was one of them guys standing there.
Mr. Goodrich.
Uh huh.
Did
Yep.
you ask for him?
You know I did, but I didn't get him. But you know what? A couple years later, I did buy one, and I sold it. I wished I'd never sold it, but you know how you wish you never do
Yes,
something.
hey,
Right,
I'll buy
yeah.
a Corvette if you'll give me that Mr. Goodrich.
Yeah, you probably sold it for less than what you paid for this one.
Yeah, a whole lot less. Yeah, but I only paid like $50 for him.
Yeah, but what I mean though,
Yeah.
if you'd have kept him, just think.
Look at all the value. That's what this whole show's about.
right.
You know, value.
and things that you don't think that are going to be worth a lot, many
Yeah.
times end up being worth
Lots
a lot.
lots of things.
Lots of
Oh,
stuff.
well,
Nowadays, you don't know what to throw away.
And let me ask you this, Howard. How
Uh-huh.
many old dealerships have you seen where they moved to new buildings
Oh yeah,
and left all kind of parts upstairs? They didn't want to move the stuff.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a friend of mine one time bought a Chevrolet dealership when they moved to their new one. They didn't want to go upstairs and move all that stuff in there. It was all kind of bumpers, fenders,
Really?
all kinds of, yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
old cars, you know,
Older
not the
cars.
newer stuff.
Still.
But they didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
I saw one on YouTube. It was just the way this guy's grandfather left it.
Yeah.
A dealership.
Well, what about
Imagine
that
that.
one down in Louisiana or something? Remember they sold all of his cars. If he didn't sell a car, he'd just take it and park it. And he had all those low mileage cars and they had that big auction. Remember, it's millions of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trees growing through them.
What they call barn finds today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the dealership, you know, the ceiling and stuff, he just shut the doors.
Well, you know, if you've ever watched, I think it's been on television. There was an AMC dealer in the Carolinas. I want to say South Carolina, but I'm not sure. But it was the Carolina, either north or south, that closed down, and the guy walked away from it. And there's brand new cars still this day sitting on the showroom floor.
Well, that's how the Chevrolet
And
dealership
there's
was.
all kind of cars parked out in the back, around the side, and it's all grown up. And I guess somebody owns it, but they're not anymore.
So what about the inside? Is the building still in good shape, or did the Chevrolet dealership, the roof started
Well, it
collapsing?
looked to me like when I saw it, a lot of the what do you call it, suspended ceiling tile were starting to sag and fall down, where maybe it had started leaking and stuff. I don't know why anybody would just walk off and leave stuff like that, because they're going to deteriorate to where they're absolutely not able to restore them. See,
I'll tell you what, the one I was talking about, the one that they actually did shows on it, stories about it before the auction. Harold Shelton, has got the dealership clock, and it's huge. It's like 3 foot by 3 foot.
Uh-huh.
Howard. The Chevrolet dealership. And I forgot. I'm gonna have to call him when we take a break. See what the name of that
dealer.
dealer was.
But that's the kind
I've
of stuff.
got the one in Carolina was.
It's
I've got
Is that the Studebaker?
Collier Motors.
it's an
The
AMC.
okay.
AMC.
This is it's got Ramblers and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So that's,
Well, that
that's,
is AMC.
Probably it's somewhere over there.
Yeah, they said in 2015, Collier Motors was featured on 2 History Channel shows.
I saw it on
American Pickers
television.
Yeah.
And Lost in Transmission.
Lost in
So-
transmission.
And the guy who owned it died 2 years ago.
So what does it
But you
say?
think
What are they
his-
doing with the cars?
There's nothing. There's no update after he died in 2018.
Yeah, but you would think his family would at least sell those cars to people who would want to restore them.
Well, I'm looking here. Evidently, he must have traded for a lot of used cars because there's all kinds of used cars sitting behind that building.
Just like he shut the door and
Yeah.
walked away from it.
That that happens. That happens.
I know, but that's strange.
I know.
5 acres of property. Says everything is for sale, but an appointment is needed. There you go, Howard.
Yeah.
That's
What
your
did it
road
say?
trip this week.
Appointment. You got to make
Everything is for sale.
Once you
but
make an appointment,
is
go buy
needed.
something.
Why not? That'd be perfect for you.
I'm not buying anything else that burns gas. I've quit.
I gotta shoot a wedding this weekend, but next weekend I'm available, Dave. If you want us to go
Well,
out
we
to
might.
North Carolina.
I started out. That's my New Year's resolution. I don't want no more cars or motorcycles. I got. You know what a Comet is? A Comet scooter.
Oh no, I was thinking of Mercury.
You remember them though, right? The Comet
yeah,
scooters
yeah.
when we. Well, anyway, I got a 1948 fully restored. I got that CB 160 Honda with less than 1,500 miles on it, and I got a little 78 Honda. You know, one of the little bikes.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now I don't want no more anything that takes gas or insurance. I'm not buying.
Oh
I
my.
thought you sold the little Honda.
Well, I did. It was a Yamaha.
Oh, okay.
I sold the
Or
Yamaha. I
did
did
your
have
son
a
just take it
80
over?
Yamaha. You know what? Let's take a break. And
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
gonna call Mr. Shelton out there at Shelton Antiques and ask him what the name of that.
Dealer on
Dealer
there?
is.
Okay. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back here with Let's Talk Antiques, and David, you found out some information about.
Well, I called, my friend, Mr. Shelton, and he told us the name of it, which is
Ray Lambrecht is the guy who owned all the cars in Nebraska, who the small town
Chevrolet dealership.
Chevy dealer who would, if he didn't sell his car, he would stick it in the back. So he died in 2014 at the age of 96, and they auctioned off the cars, which brought $2.8 million. And they said about 25,000 people showed up to the town of Pierce, which was a town of 1,700.
But out of the cars, there was 50 cars you say that really brought the money.
Yeah, 50 or so new old cars known as barn finds or survivor cars. They included a 58 Camaro pickup.
No, Cameo.
Cameo, okay, I was going to say, okay.
Not a
With
Camaro.
1.3 miles on the odometer.
Ooh,
They brought
wow.
$140,000, a 64 Impala with 11 miles, and that went for $97,500, a 78 Corvette with 4 miles for $80,000, and a 77 Vega with 6 miles for $10,000.
How about that?
So what miles he got, it was from unloading it out of the truck and then backing it back to the.
Yeah.
Um,
Test drives,
yeah,
probably.
Test
not
drive.
many though. Could it?
Yeah,
No, for 4 miles it could
Yeah.
have been.
Well, maybe he didn't let him go very far.
Around the
That's why
block.
he didn't sell as many cars.
Around the block two
He
or three
only got
times.
to go around
But
the
you
car.
said it was just. You'd
Well-
never get a Chevrolet dealership with
Well,
1,700 people now.
when I went to high school,
Yes.
I graduated, believe it or not, from Tombstone Union High School, Tombstone,
Oh,
Arizona.
you told us that. I remember that.
And the high school, right across the street from the high school, was a Studebaker dealer. And there couldn't have been more than 1,000 people lived in the city of Tombstone. Now, there was people out in the county, Cochise County, but probably not that many more. I mean, it was
Small.
pretty solid. This is way back.
Yeah.
But what
But-
year was
That was that would have been. I graduated in '58.
Yeah,
so
but what year? Do you know what year the dealership closed?
I don't know whatever happened.
Did you move off or something?
We moved. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we were there a couple 3 years and then moved. But,
Now
you
it's
know, the thing is, but
tourist town.
you used to see car dealerships in small farming
Yes.
communities, and they would sell 15, 20 cars. Nowadays, you know, they got to have a multi-million-dollar building and all this stuff, you know, and they
10 or 15 acres to park them on.
right, and you don't see dealerships in little farming towns anymore.
No, you don't. Well, you don't. Look here. I mean, we used to have a Studebaker dealership here. We used to have a Chevrolet dealership here. We used to have a Packard dealership
I
here.
wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, and they might only sell 10 or 15 cars a year, but that was enough for them to justify it. But times have changed.
Yeah.
Hey, look up Rambler Ranch on your computer.
Okay.
So is this another surprise?
This is an interesting place. It's called Rambler Ranch. It's in Colorado, in the Denver area. It's in a little area outside of Denver. The gentleman there that owns it started. I don't know.
Did you sell him a car or trade him one? Or
We bought. Rob bought a car from him. Rob, I don't know how Rob.
I thought y'all traded one where you bought one from here and traded one to somebody out of town.
Yeah, well, we have done that, but
Oh, God.
But anyway, Rob found this guy and went out there and saw him because he used to go out to a Denver area, and he went out there. And I don't know how many hundreds of cars this has.
200.
Is it 200? in undercover.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
and then he has, I don't know how many more hundreds sitting outside, and they're predominantly American Motors cars.
Oh, good Lord,
They're-
look at them. They're sharp.
And he's got
Oh,
beautiful cars, and a lot of them are on display, you know, with mannequins and stuff. It is.
What'd y'all buy?
Let's see, what did Rob get? Boy, I forget now. I think it was an Eagle, I think is what he got from him. And we found it outside. We went, the gentleman took us for all through the thing. I mean, he just loves visitors. And so and then we went out, and there's in the lot outside, and we found a car, and Rob, typically he doesn't like to sell for some strange reason. All these cars sitting outside are potential project cars.
Right, yeah. That's what he said. He had bought his first car, or his father's 1954 Nash Ambassador.
That's right, yeah.
Which he saved from a scrapyard in '77, but it wasn't until 1995 until he was able to remove it from the farm and begin the car's restoration. Yeah.
And his webpage is just full of pictures of cars. I mean, it's really interesting.
Well, that's what we're looking at
It's
now.
called
Yeah.
Rambler Ranch.
It's
Nash Rambler and AMC.
amazing condition for these cars.
And some of them are beautiful.
He said his goal is to have a complete 1917 to 1988 Nash Rambler AMC history showcase.
Yeah, that's his goal.
Does he have it?
No, not yet.
He
But
does.
he
I
said
think some of the real early ones he's still missing,
This is
but it is unbelievable.
not just the common known vehicles, but also the appliances, tractors, commercial and military vehicles.
Yeah, see, Nash was Kelvinator was part of the Nash. See, Nash Kelvinator.
That was a good refrigerator.
It was, and so he's got a lot of old He's got a restaurant set up. You know, with it's like stepping back into the 50s, and he's got the appliances are Kelvinator, you know, stove. And
Well, here's the thing, Howard.
It is just unbelievable. It's a museum, basically. It's
Yes.
not. It was
With
never
all
given.
these cars, though, he does have gas signs and all the other
Oh,
stuff to go with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
why all this stuff that we've been talking about for 20 years
Right.
sells high.
He's got a
And-
big Sinclair dinosaur there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got all kinds.
You got an Opaline sign just right off the bat, a Texaco sign.
He does a big American Motors.
Oh,
sign.
you'd like to have
Oh
that.
boy, would
like-
I ever!
It's like
But
15 foot.
Yeah.
and as I understand, he I don't know. He's I
We're
don't-
looking at those appliances now.
he made money. I'm not sure how. You know, he doesn't want to talk about that when we
Yeah,
look.
you got to have some money to be
And
able to do this.
this thing is what do you call funded, endowed. so that when something happens to him, it will continue as a museum.
Well, he's got the checker floors. He's got the neon. He's got
it's
he's
unbelievable.
got pedal cars. He's got
Yeah.
signs.
He's got a 49 Nash Wrecker, which was
Oh,
never
yeah.
sold to the public,
Yeah.
only used by dealers.
Yeah. Nash, and they would make trucks, but only for dealers. Record trucks or a pickup truck for parts delivery and stuff. They put them on a special chassis.
You know, I don't know if you ride by Jiffy Burger though.
Oh yeah.
And you look over there, I'd say 80% of the vehicles you're going to see are either going to be trucks or SUVs.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Way up there in trucks.
Right.
A lot of trucks. Is it break time?
No.
Okay.
Just looking.
Okay.
It slips up on me.
Look at all those. Look at all those gasoline signs.
Yeah.
The walls are covered with them and hanging in the thing.
Hanging over the cars.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of cars in here too.
Oh.
Well, this is if you're into. Well, if you wanted us to go here instead of North Carolina, I'll do this.
I
Too.
might do that. I'd go there because he don't sell.
We do a remote show.
And he
There you go.
He has a building full of literature.
Like
sales brochures. When we were there, he was trying to get it cataloged and set up. I don't know whether he ever got to that or not. I mean, just
He's got a Sinclair gas station reproduction.
yeah.
The whole gas station.
The whole station.
Right.
Lights and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the two gravity, but you know what don't match? He's got the two gravities there, and then he's got an echo air meter.
Well,
see that.
yeah.
If he's going to put that, really that's a later air meter. He needs to put the older air meter
Well,
to go with it. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that when we're out
give him a
there.
call.
You can take him one,
yeah.
Well, I've got it.
and then maybe that'll get us in the door.
That'll sure enough open the door.
But
It's
I'll
about
tell-
a $4,000 air meter.
But if you want, if our listeners want to check this out, just get on your computer, Google Rambler Ranch.
It's
And-
really interesting. It's worth the Google, I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
it's just
amazing.
quite a web page and pictures, a lot of great
What's
pictures.
the bus there, Philip? Is that a...
It says Rambler Ranch on it. I don't know. exactly
American
what-
Motors made city buses at one time.
They
Well,
did?
this looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
a school bus. It looks
And
like
that- well, okay,
It's
they-
an international, I believe.
Okay, but they did make buses at one time, and of course, the
Yeah, it's an international.
the Humvee actually started out with AM General, which was a subsidiary of American Motors at one
Yes.
time.
Huh.
And I think GM ended up with it somewhere along
Right.
the
They
line.
did.
They used to make, AMC made a lot of military trucks at one also.
I don't know how... I mean, they did a lot of military work.
Oh, yeah.
Down
yeah.
the Jeeps.
You would think... I mean, that,
And
that alone ought to be a good market,
Well,
Howard.
so did Studebaker, for that matter. A lot of World War II trucks,
Well-
especially the ones that went to Russia.
You know what, though?
Really?
All the car dealer manufacturers...
Well,
went to
during World War
work dur-
II, everybody.
Yeah, but they were prior to that. They was actually making military stuff.
Yeah, during World War II, I think
There's a nice sign, a Rambler Spark sign.
yeah, they made a lot of airplane
See it?
engines during World War II. I think
Right there.
AMC did. Nash
Oh,
or
there,
Hudson,
okay.
both.
Parts Rambler Service.
Yeah, I don't know how he would go in back when AMC first went out. Apparently, he's when he
He'd just
jumped
buy
in,
the dealers,
and he'd
buy
buy,
'em out,
buy
wouldn't
as much of as he could. And he was to the one that was telling us that if Chrysler hadn't stepped in and was almost demanding that they scrap everything, he could have had more stuff.
Huh.
But, but
There's a city bus.
Yeah. Here's one of your buses.
yeah, AM something or not.
Man, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you're into them, you should definitely.
Oh,
go check
definitely,
this out,
yeah. If you're into old cars, it's definitely something worth.
It says
checking out.
AM General or
Yeah,
something.
AM
on
General.
the bus, yeah.
On
And
the
then
bus.
it's got the marks, the red and blue thing. You
Red,
know,
white, and blue.
Huh?
Red, white, and blue. You got the
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue. Okay.
There you go.
Hey, we're
All
it's almost time to take another break.
Okay, we'll
believe it or
take a
not.
Well, let's take it.
Okay, we'll be right back with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back once more with, what is this? Oh, let's talk antiques.
Let's talking antiques. I was speaking of Max there. Max came by my house on Monday and played guitar, and I videoed him and stuff. So
why was he serenading you?
Well, it's
What
his,
the heck?
It's his friends that apparently live all over the country that know him as a guitar player, and so he'll every couple of years he comes by and I video him and put it on YouTube so his friends can hear him do songs and stuff. So. But on another note, so we our Facebook page, we get messages from people every once in a while, and it seems like a majority of them are people asking like they've inherited stuff or they've got like a bunch of stuff that they need to have appraised, and they're asking our opinion on can we appraise them and things like that and stuff. And the answer is no, we can't.
We don't have that kind of expertise.
We can't do that. But Harold Shelton over at Shelton's Antique.
Yeah,
and
he can do homes.
He can probably help.
He can do the
with that
furniture
kind of
side
thing.
of it and stuff.
Yeah, say we're just more of a single item kind of thing, or a collection.
You know, to do that
kind of
right
thing.
takes time.
Right,
You've
yeah.
got to catalog and photograph everything.
Yeah.
And then you got to research it.
Yeah, you got to
Right.
constantly.
Yeah.
You can't know
it's
it all.
not just walk in and say, oh, this is worth
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It takes a lot of work.
Yes, it
Well, and what is that Antique Roadshow? Have you
Yeah.
ever noticed? Those are they'll have 25 different appraisers.
They'll be specialized
like
in
you
different
would be the
things.
Star Wars guy. I would be maybe a gas pump or gas sign or something or soda, and you would be
G.I. Joe.
okay.
There you go.
And you, Howard,
junk.
Rambler.
Rambler, AMC.
AMC, I guess, about the only thing I really know.
Well, anyway, so since our whole show has been on all this, why don't we look up some Rambler signs and
I got to bring up the number one most expensive sign though on eBay that's sold recently is an antique vintage no street girls or sailors World War II sign.
it's a light up now.
It's a light up sign to go outside of a
No
building.
street
Well-
girls or sailors.
You know, you didn't want sailors in your place because they'd end up fighting with the Marines. Or, soldiers,
Yeah.
So, and they were asking $48,000 and took a best offer on that. But anyway.
48,000.
and they got like over 15 for it.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Hey,
What do you think about that?
That's not bad.
That's unbelievable. But,
But it does light up, Howard.
oh, well. Was
Now-
it free shipping?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Now, coming in a close second place in the a Jeep Willie lighted dealership AMC sign at $460.
Huh.
So 50 bids
That's
on
real
that.
Yeah.
reasonable.
So there's a couple of zeros difference
Yeah.
in that one, but
Well, what
Here's
about
an AMC Appalachian Mountain Club Trail hut sign. It says Greenleaf hut closed, no shelter available on the sign. And it's from an AMC Mountain Club. 2 bids, $400. Goodyear tires for AMC vehicles, hanging sign for they wanted $379, $380, and took a best offer on that. Another American Motors lighted dealership. It says American Motors Performance American Style. 17 bids on that went for $338. So they're, not cheap by any means. Here's 2 vintage 1958 Rambler Ambassador 6 Rebel dealership advertising banners. So these are just
the
like
big-
hang in your
dealership.
$300.
$300 for 2 of the banners.
Hey, guess what though?
What?
Free shipping.
For a
Oh,
banner.
well.
Hey, for we don't have that much time.
Okay.
Look up a Studebaker sign or something.
I tell you what, I've got a large double-sided authorized national service sign, $1,325.
that.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking sign. Double-sided.
I got Authorized Service Studebaker 42-inch porcelain dealership sign. The buy it now was $1,950.
Yeah, that guy sold way too cheap. That sign will bring $3,500.
Really? Well, he did the buy it now. So
Yeah,
there
he
you go.
messed up.
Always start with a high buy it now, and then you can bring it down.
Yeah, it's hard to you can't negotiate up.
Yeah, no,
No way.
it doesn't work, does it?
Here's a Studebaker Packard luster seal embossed tin sign. New old stock original. It says for lasting beauty, luster seal, all weather protection. Is that superior performance? I thought that was Studebaker. Maybe it is. Okay. $800 was what they were asking for, and they took the best offer.
That's not a real one there. That authorized Studebaker service for $500.
The $500 one.
Yeah, that's one of them made in India.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's original or anything on that
Okay.
either.
That's what you got to watch on some of this
See if
stuff.
you look up a
Reproductions.
Packard.
Oh,
See if
yeah,
you
I'm
can find
looking
it.
at some that just look just like they are reproductions.
Yeah, there's.
One says near mint, but
When you
it's
get
got to
into
be a
$400 and
reproduction.
$500 pieces on a real dealership sign,
Yeah.
you can bet. The India even do
They
some
spit
free
'em
shipping.
out up there in
Oh
India.
yeah, heck yeah. Did you find anything on?
San Francisco auto dealer, 1920s Packard advertising sign, $2,900.
Wow.
How about that clock?
Here's a nice Packard neon spinner dealership sign. Works great. 25 bids, $820
That is a
for that.
really pretty sign.
It's very pretty, but
Yeah.
$820
Yeah.
is a lot of
I
money.
like that top. I like that top sign though.
It is. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I bought something like that, Helen wouldn't let me put it in the living room.
See, now you know, like when you can see a 42-inch Packard sign that's reproduction
$300.
stuff.
Yeah. It says from India on it.
Yeah,
too,
there
so
you go.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Well, at least they're
Yeah.
honest about
Yeah.
it. They're not
Yeah.
trying to pawn it off on you.
Yeah.
So if you, but if you had a,
They're not saying they ain't real. They're just saying
yeah,
we
but,
have them. But
They're
you
just
know,
not saying original.
anybody deals in this stuff.
but if you had a Packard car, sitting in your garage, you would want that sign even though it wasn't original.
Well, I'd run down to Tullahoma and get Clint Clarnay,
Well,
Walter Brandon's great grandson, get him to whoop me out.
yeah, you probably could do
Wouldn't
that
you, Rob?
too. Local.
Yes, that's
But
what I
you know
wanted.
what I mean is that as long as they tell you, but when they don't tell you and they try to palm it off as an original, that's
Yeah.
when it's bad. That's when
Yeah.
it's really.
And that happens.
Oh, it does.
You know,
Oh, they'll throw it out back and bury it for a while.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. One
Yeah.
time, a friend of mine went to a antique store up in Lebanon, and the guy come in the back door. He said, "What are you doing back there?" He said, "Oh, I'm just
He's
antiquing
antiquing
some
it.
stuff."
Antique and
He was
Yeah.
back there burying stuff and beating it up.
But- making it wet so it rusts up a little bit.
Yeah, but there's a difference between orange rust and dark rust.
Right,
you know what?
yeah.
True.
That orange that's automatically a thing that's saying, hey, that's brand new rust.
Hey,
Ah.
we're about out of time, you fellas.
I got a 1936 Packard automobile showroom advertising oversized promotional book. 35 bids on that for $247.50.
Wow.
So you got them books. No telling what they were.
Just for the book.
Yeah,
He could probably retire off all
You
the
got- you
stuff
got
he's
those?
got. He's got letters. He's got all kind of
I
neat
got all
stuff.
kind of stuff.
Okay, we got a 49 Nash Air, what's that, Air Flight sedan
Flight,
by National Products. It's a dealer car, dealer promo car, $295.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
well,
Are you ready to wind it up?
I think we're about to
Okay.
say
You want to hear
goodbye.
one more thing?
We got about 40 seconds.
How about
Do it.
a lot of vintage 6 Packard aerosol can touch-up spray paint cans
Oh,
in the
no.
original box.
now that's something.
$225.
This touch-up
cool.
spray can. I wonder if they
Touch-up
still
spray
work.
can.
Yeah.
Sure they do.
All right. Well,
I'd
I
like
guess.
to have just a can, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
Yeah.
that'd be cool. All right, I guess that's about it for this week. We will be back next week.
To talk about all the things we didn't talk
Yeah,
about this week.
We'll be back next week to get off track again.
of course. So have a nice
But you
day.
won't be here.
Well, I'll listen. Maybe. We'll see you.
You're going to be cruising, aren't you, Howard?
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.